Okay, so if you want to follow us, we can do this interview over in the council room.
Okay.
Before we get started, does anyone need anything to eat or drink? Just to make sure no one passes out.
I do not. I'm quite full in both.
Okay.
Hello, Victor. I'm Athena Reed.
Nice to meet you, Miss Reeve.
And hello, Victor. My name's Kelly Lowry.
Nice to meet you, Miss Lowry.
Alright, so basically, with this, we're just gonna go through some standard questions, gauge your history, especially for like the security position. Is that okay?
Course.
Alright, you're welcome to sit or stand, it's up to you. Alright, so first, have you ever held a government position before?
No, ma'am, I can't say that I have.
Okay, do you have any previous history with custodian work, security work?
Security, not so much. My school was a bit short on janitor staff when I was in high school, so I had to work somewhat part time there. You'd be surprised what they can do with average B plus student.
Okay, any professional work experience outside of school? Anything will do.
Well, I used to work at a Lee's Famous Recipe down in Rome, Georgia, but other than that, no, not really.
And that's a restaurant, correct?
That is indeed correct. It's like KFC.
Okay, so let's start with your availability. How often would you be able to work this position if it was offered to you?
About 8 to 10 hours a week.
And how many days a week?
Uh, seven, 6 or 7, honestly.
Okay, that's some good availability. Are you familiar with the 5 levels of force?
I know at least two of them, which would be lethal and non lethal, but other than that, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. So it starts with presence and verbal communication, then it goes to non hand to hand, then to hand, and then non lethal, and then lethal. So 2 out of 5. All right, and how would you do with confidentiality as this is a government building? So, high profile clients would be in and out of the building. Sometimes you might hear some gossip about a government agency. How do you deal with confidentiality?
Ma'am, I'm going to be honest with you. If I don't need to know it, I'm most likely to forget it. So it'd be just out of my mind, and I wouldn't really be able to tell anybody if I just forgot about it.
Also, like, even if you passively picked up some information, let's just say you're checking your mail, and then a couple of coworkers come over and they talked about a meeting they were just in.
If it doesn't concern me, it's not my business. And honestly, if it ain't my business, it's out of my mind for the most part.
Okay. So now let's swap into the individual careers for custodian. Are you aware of where you pick up cleaning supplies in this state? Because we can provide you the budget to get the supplies. Do you know where to get them?
I am not, but I do have a mop or two and some bleach wipes that I've picked up just here and there.
Okay. And how good are you with bookkeeping? Because, like I said, we would provide you with the funds to keep the janitor's closet stocked, but it's your job to notate down how much you spent on the week. So if you spent no money, then there's obviously nothing to write for that day. But let's say Wednesday, you notice that you were out of bleach wipes, so you went to the store and you bought a pack of 100.
Yeah, I do believe I'm pretty good at bookkeeping. At least when it comes to something like that.
All right, and with cleaning, would you say that you do the bare minimum or you go the extra mile?
I wouldn't like to say I go the extra mile, but if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I go about the extra half mile. I get a little bit more done than what is expected of me, but not to the point of where I have nothing else to do the next.
Okay, would you be able
It's
to
like,
provide an example? Like,
like
if you have any
let's
cleaning supplies, or we can take you to the janitor's closet and you can show us.
All right. Well, I'll give you a scenario to the best of my ability. Let's say you need all the windows cleaned. For me, I'm gonna get all the windows cleaned, and then I'm gonna mop up a bit in some place that you need me, but I'm not gonna mop down the entire build. Is what I'm saying.
Oh no, maybe it might help if I demonstrate. I'll be right back.
Oh,
Alright, so what I want to know is, he gonna make the place smell good, or let's just grab, oh okay, let's just grab something from the tray here. We got a lot of cleaning supplies, and I know that I can give things a nice lemon scent, so we'll stick with that. Okay. Right, so presets. Like so.
oh, if that's the case, then I'd probably go above and beyond.
Okay. Yep. So moving on to security. Examples, let's say that there is a rowdy visitor in the lobby. What would you do?
Well, going off the 5 methods of force you asked, I would attempt to communicate with the visitor and ask them to politely to leave, and I would escalate from there. And if they ended up being violent, I would attempt to subdue them in a reasonable manner.
Okay, yes. So the individual is not leaving and they start punching because they've been waiting on contact from the DOJ. It's been over a week. They're really frustrated, so they start swinging. They don't want to leave.
Well, then I will attempt my best to defend both myself and the people in the building with hand-to-hand combat and so hand-to-hand combat.
Could you go into detail, like the steps that you would actually take in this scenario from start to finish?
All right, start. I would approach them calmly and ask them politely to leave. If they don't, I would escalate to the next step and use non-hand-to-hand methods in order to get them out. And then I would use hand-to-hand in order to get them out once they started swinging, or if they started swinging, I should say. And I would do this mainly to ensure the civility in the building was kept so that nobody really gets hurt. So that's the bare minimum that need to get hurt in order to maintain the civility.
Okay. Another incident. Back when I first got hired here, the jewelry store would get robbed pretty much on a daily basis. Like, you can hear the alarm from this building. Let's say the jewelry store is getting robbed, you hear the alarm, and then gunmen start charging the front door because things are starting to get heated over there, and they're hoping to kidnap somebody from in this building to use as leverage. Please explain how you would handle that situation from start to finish.
As they are approaching the building, I would attempt to warn people to get out the back of the building in order to protect them, and any of those who aren't out of the building, I would attempt to protect myself using non-lethal methods of force in order to protect them. And if escalates to where it is my life and their lives on the line, I will use lethal force if necessary.
So if it's two gunmen charging the door, you would use non-lethal force?
I would, to begin, I need a moment to arrange the sentence in my head. So please give me a moment. If they're actively coming in here to try and have someone, yes, I would most likely use lethal force to start out with, but I would try and get people out the building before I engage with them. Like, if I see them running up and I have like 5 seconds to yell out everyone out the back, I do that first and then engage with the assailants.
Okay, because it's just you in the building for this shift, so everybody in the building, their safety is completely in your hands.
If that's the case, then I'm going to protect myself if I know they are armed and they are dangerous. And likely I will use lethal force in order to engage in the situation.
Okay, and let's say you are successful. You manage to take down the threat that was approaching the building. Everyone's safe. What's your next step?
I alert both the emergency medical service and the police and the local sheriff's department in order to take the assailants to the hospital and have police there to ensure that they are served with the punishment for the crime that they have committed in attempting to take over this establishment for leverage and such.
Okay.
And I should also mention that the emergency medical service would also be called for any injured, including myself, if the need has come.
Okay, so speaking of emergency medical services, anyone that is hired as security for City Hall, they're required to take a course at Pillbox to get their first aid certification. Is that something that you would be capable of doing?
I believe that would be correct, that I would be able to pass it, yes.
And also a task for security is there may come a time where they're asked to escort government officials from this building to offsite locations. Is that something you can manage?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Athena, do you have any questions?
I do. One of my questions is, when, as security, you will be asked to search people coming through the door, especially for our town hall meetings. How would you go up to them and ask them to search them?
I would walk up to them politely and say to them, "Excuse me, sir or madam, going to, I'm going to need to search you in order to make sure you don't have any contraband. Is that all right with you? Or is it all right that I lay hands upon your person?"
And what is the correct term that we use for that, Kelly, again?
Frisk. Every citizen has a right to not be subject to unreasonable search and seizure. So, what is lawful is a frisk. And with a frisk, you are feeling for any type of bulges, like blunt objects, maybe hammers or guns, or even like boxes. If you feel a box, then you ask them if you can search that box or backpack or whatever container could be holding something else. And then if they say no, that is when you ask them to return that to their car. Because it's their right. If they don't want it searched, it doesn't have to be searched, but it cannot enter this building.
Right? I do believe I can do that.
Also, see, I know I'm forgetting questions I had today. Also, say you have a friend who's coming in and they're running late for the meeting, and they say, "Oh, I accidentally have alcohol," or they accidentally have a hammer on them, and they say, "Can I come in?" How would you handle that situation?
I'm going to have to refuse them entry until they can put the alcohol or hammer or whatever contraband that they may have back in their car.
Yes, and they may ask, hey, I just really want to get into the meeting. I'm already missing some things. Like, could you hold this for me? At that moment, you make yourself liable for their property. So if it goes missing, they might try to sue the state. So the first course is always push them to put it back in their car.
Right? I suppose that does make sense.
Alright. And as a security officer, if you do have someone that's non-compliant that comes through that door, do you have the ability to detain or arrest?
I do not believe so. I do believe that I have the right to ask them politely to leave, or the sheriffs will be called.
Okay. And if you had to put your de-escalation skills on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would have to say about an 8 for most situations, of course.
Okay.
Because there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to like de-escalate a crazed gunman coming in here and trying to shoot people.
Okay, and if that was the scenario, crazed gunman wanted to come in here trying to shoot people, um, are you shooting your firearm to kill or to disable?
If I'm unable to kill to disable, then I will be shooting to kill. But if shooting to disable is an option, I'm taking that option first. But if lives are truly on the line, I'm shooting to kill first. If it's just me in here, I'm shooting to disable. If there's other people's lives in danger, I'm shooting to kill.
Athena, do you have anything else?
So we have a lot of government employees who will be coming in and out of the building. Um, Sometimes you may get someone who's coming in who will claim they're a government employee. And if you are unsure of this, what would you do?
That's a good one.
Well, first I would ask them to present some identification, and then I'd try to verify it with someone else.
All right, I don't have any more questions.
All right. And while you're waiting on that verification, would you deny the individual access to the building, or would you allow them to come in?
I would have to deny them access to the building because if they aren't a government employee and they're trying to get some confidential records or such, letting them in would be the perfect chance for them to slip away and, of course, get into the records where they aren't supposed to be. So denying them access to the building would most likely make the most sense in order for confidentiality, privacy, and such to be kept and maintained.
Well, actually, on that note, there is an easier way to check. If they're insisting they must get in, they have to talk to somebody, they don't want to put their firearm in their car. Government officials do have keys to the building. So if you merely just take them over to the stairwell and ask them to unlock the door, and they can do it, all fine.
All right, I'll have to keep that in mind.
Okay. Well, if you'll give Athena and I a moment, we're going to go talk outside.
Of course.
We'll be back soon.
Take your time.
Okay. So, how do you feel about hiring him for security?
So I feel like we would need someone to really, like, really train him a little bit.
Yes. And we only
I
have
think
Robert.
yeah, I think he's on a good, I think he would be good, but I do think he needs to be guided a little.
Okay. So, would you be comfortable hiring him for custodian work at this time?
Yes, I would say yes on that. And then once we could get someone to, or maybe he can like maybe read over the security SOPs, have a little bit more guidance, maybe see how we also do things around here that might be helpful to him too. But I think that eventually he would be good security.
I agree. That's what I was thinking. If he was hired as custodian, he was here on a daily basis, he could see how how he operates in a security capacity. Just learn from watching, and then maybe once Robert has learned more and we can trust him to train somebody new, then he can take Victor under his wing as his junior. Or if Alec comes back.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. And speaking of people coming back, Ringo was here.
Really?
Yep, he was here 2 days ago.
Um, did he have anything to say about his absence, or?
He just said that he had a lot going on back home, but he should be back around more now. And he was wanting to know about the other security officer.
Okay, because I think Ringo was hired, because I still have his interview notes. I think he might have been hired as a regular security, but anyone that hasn't been here in over a month, I honestly demoted them back to level 1. Because you didn't even provide notice. It's not right, and part of being security is you need to be able to take active notes and communication, and to leave City Hall defenseless with nothing, like even a fax, just I won't be around, I have to fly back home, family emergency.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I get that.
But he does have experience, and I think he would be a good buddy for Robert until Alec is back in commission. So
I
with time
agree
and
with that because they
tenure,
was
we can
one.
promote him back up.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, because I meant to mention that to you too, because I was trying to find a moment to talk to you yesterday at the wedding and be like, hey, I need to let you know that Ringo came back in case, I didn't know how long the honeymoon would be. That way you.
And I appreciate, but Athena, you just got married. Even if you sent that in a fax, totally okay. Because I naturally thought you would be starting your honeymoon today, so if you didn't come in after the 45 minutes, I would have just conducted the interview alone.
Oh, I know. I'll be going back to the honeymoon short.
Alright, so do you want to let him know custodian position?
Yes.
Oh, and also I spoke to Mayor Marino. You'll now have
Oh, and
full
how?
access keys, same as me and Marino, so you can do hirings, firing, suspensions. You got oversight over staff as the chief of staff.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Of course, you totally deserve it.
I felt bad because I didn't know his PO to invite him, and I didn't want to exclude anyone.
Oh no, he was on a business trip, so he wouldn't have been able to make it.
But that's good to know. That way I can. But of course, I'll always consult with you first and foremost.
Okay. We have talked it over, and at this time, we would like to offer you the custodian position.
Now,
All
that's
right.
not to say that you eventually we won't hire you for security. But for now, until we can get, someone in here to train you properly on security, we feel the custodian position would be better.
I see, and I accept.
Perfect. So, if you want to come upstairs with me, we'll get you a clock in card and a set of keys.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but like she said, the pathway to security, the door is definitely open for that. You're welcome to learn on the job by watching the security as they operate here, and if you wanted to take the initiative to get the first aid certification, so when the time comes, if you do want to talk about those pathways in the future, you already got the first step. There would be nothing stopping you.
All right.
Alright, so let's head on upstairs. Okay, so I would say mainly your area would be to cover general areas, so like hallways. For offices, I would say introduce yourself. Hi, my name's Victor. And ask people on like a case by case basis, like, would you like your office cleaned on a daily basis? I'm the new custodian worker. And just see what they say.
All right.
Right, so employees, hire. Where's Athena? Let's bump her up.
Also, I just realized I fully introduced myself. I know I told you my name, but also I am the chief of staff here, and Miss Kelly is our deputy mayor.
Well, I did figure that out by your letter that you did send, but it's nice for a formal introduction.
Yes, and welcome to the team, Victor.
Yes, congratulations and welcome to City Hall.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I do want to ask you both something. Would you like your offices cleaned on a daily basis or not?
Yes. I can show you where mine is.
I share an office with people, so I would say ask as but I'm okay.
All right, well, I can get started here tomorrow then.
And let
Okay.
us know if you need any supplies. So keep receipts of everything that you buy, and we will reimburse you for it.
Yes, sir.
Of course. Well, I gotta get going. It was nice to meet y'all. It's hopefully it will be nice working with y'all.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, well, welcome, and we're glad to have you.
Awesome. So with your new keys, you should be able to get into Mayor Marino's office now too.
All right, that's good to know. That's good. That way I can help you guys out. If he needs something in there, I could just go give it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, whenever it comes to hiring stuff, I will definitely consult with you always.
Yeah, I like having a second person to bounce it off of, so that way it doesn't feel so like utilitarian, like one person is just deciding the whole fate. And you as chief of staff, like every person that gets hired is essentially becoming a part of your department too. So I think
That
it's
is
important
true.
that we all stay in the loop.
That is true. It's important that we work together and communicate well together. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Do we lock this door back? Sure, that stays locked.
Oh, he took off, and I forgot to let him know where he could go get those supplies.
I guess that's something he learns on his official first day.
I mean, I'm okay with helping stock some stuff, but I don't think I have access to the storage keys for that custodian closet.
I don't think that they have a storage locker in there. That's probably something we're gonna have to talk to Jesse about, so that way they can keep supplies in there.
Oh, I thought they did.
Yeah, because you used to have keys now if you didn't have keys before to get into the janitor's closet.
Yeah, I had them before.
Yeah, so they cannot keep supplies in here.
Oh, okay.
So right now he can keep it in his personal locker in the break room.
Yeah, maybe we can get them a little storage closet right here for stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be best. And then if anyone ever needed the mop and the janitor wasn't around, well, we do have a mop, right?
Yeah, that way Because, like I said, I don't mind, going and helping stock what they need to.
Yeah. And that way we definitely know it doesn't come out of his pocket.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking during the interview, too.
And I like the question about the town hall. That was a good one. I think we should definitely ask it every time because that's going to be their busiest day, the town halls. So we should make sure
It
that they're
really is.
ready to handle something like that.
That is very true. That is very true because it was something I was thinking about like the other day when I knew he wanted to interview, and the last time we interviewed Robert, like that's our busiest day. Someone can claim to be a government employee,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm pretty
and
sure
it's good to
EMS.
have that there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have keys. I'm pretty sure LSSD. That's how Dean gets in to like leave the breakfast food for us. So I would just say, okay, can you just use your keys, get into the break room? All right, you definitely have keys to the building. Good to go.
Yeah, because I could also ask them to like if they can unlock that front door, then they know they have access to the building. I mean, the hired. Sorry.
See, I think the only gray area would be the private attorneys, though, because they have keys for their MDT access, but they're not necessarily government workers.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, but we pretty much like when I know when Bryce came in, we know he was a civilian. He had to,
Yeah.
because I remember that.
See, we know that, but the new security hires won't know that.
Gotcha. And I think that's one of the reasons why I said like for now custodian work would be good because once we get the security thing situated, he can be trained properly on what to do.
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. He just didn't have any experience, not even working security locally in the state.
That's another thing I considered as well. Also, I don't have Ringo's PO. Do you?
ZI838.
I think it would be good, for us to touch base with him as well. Because I'm not sure if, maybe the DOJ hired him on or he was just acting on security on City Hall staff. Because
City
I
Hall.
talked to him briefly. Oh, City Hall.
Yes, I was at the interview when Bryce conducted it. That's why I still have
Okay.
his security questions. He wants to protect people in the state. He did security work here and there. He's a former police officer. Security, according to him, they can detain upon specific circumstances. He knew that it was frisk unless given new orders from high command. He gave a detail of his de-escalation skills, and he's aware of the 5 levels of force and when to escalate. Oh, and he was also given
Gotcha,
two
that's good.
scenarios, like the bomb and then the gunman.
Well, that's good to know. But I think, sorry, still reeling from that headache earlier. I think it'd be good, just to brush up with him where he hasn't been here in a while.
Oh no, I agree. That's why he's going to stay at entry level, even though he's clearly the most senior of the security that we have now, besides Alec. And then with time and tenure, he can be promoted back up through the ranks.
And I think that's fair. Because I don't think I've seen him in, a couple months. And like you said, he didn't.
I think it was the career fair. I honestly think it was because I didn't see them at the science party. It was only Alec. He was all by himself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to say it's been a couple months.
Yeah, so normally someone would have been fired by now, but we really need security. So it seemed pretty hasty. But if he wasn't back before the end of Mayor Marino's term, I definitely would have let go of any security that just completely stopped showing up. Because why bring that over into the next cabinet for the next mayor if they were really thinking about keeping on staff? But why keep inactive staff?
I get that. Yeah, because I was hearing that also the tourist initiative is going to start up on the 23rd, so that's basically 9 days.
Mm-hmm. And they're hoping to throw a big event, get all the business involved on the Saturday after, like an all-day event for newcomers to this state.
And with that too, I know City Hall's going to be flooded because people come to us first for questions.
Mm-hmm. So I think that would be a good day to mail out staff if you could be available this day. So if people do have questions, they're not walking into an empty building. We're giving them a good, strong first impression.
And that is true. That is true. And I think, that staff meeting that I'm always talking about, I think it might be good for us to get that scheduled as well.
Okay, well, you're in honeymoon mode this week. Do you want to do it for next week?
That's fine with me, yes.
Okay, we'll try to do it before the Friday so that way we can touch base with everybody, check availability. Because I think that whole weekend it would be good if we were around. Because then we also want to see if we can get the nipple project going. So if we know that people will be here, we can work in rotations. Half of us are out there helping the nipple project, getting tourists from the airport into the city, and then half of us are here answering questions for the ones that do make it in on their own and they need guidance.
That is true. That is true. I would love to be out there amongst the people helping them out, but if I need to be here, I will willing to do that too.
Oh no, that's why we'll take turns. It's like when you're here, I'll be out there, and when I'm here, you'll be out there.
I'm looking forward just to being able to help people. That's one of the reasons why I chose Dynasty 8 as a second job. I can't wait to help people get their forever home and, see them happy.
See, I was looking at some new houses because of the whole garden party idea that I pitched to George. George wants to put together a formal event. He wants it strictly formal, but he likes the garden party idea, and I found a very nice house in Richmond.
Oh, nice.
It's got a pool, a fireplace island, and its own private tennis court.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's so fancy.
It's fancy, especially your own tennis court.
Yeah, and I'd still be pretty close to the water, like it's not far. And I like to jog anyway. I jog from here to Vespucci, so jogging from Richmond to Vespucci is still very doable. I'm still like right next door to the neighborhood.
True. I'm not gonna lie, there's a little house in Vespucci near the beach. I think it was a pink one. And I was sitting there telling somebody, I was like, you know what? This house would be cute for Kelly. And could you imagine Carly sitting outside it? They'd be perfect.
Right, that was my first go-to house. I know the exact one. It's along Del Perro Freeway. It's before the last highway sign, before the highway splits off. The pink and purple one.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Pink and purple.
Mm-hmm.
Because I figured Carly would look so cute parked up.
Yeah, I've been told that since my first month in the state. Like someone showed me that house specifically. It's like I can see you owning this home.
But your other choice is quite nice too. I told you the one I wanted, right?
Mm-mm.
It's the house next to the lighthouse up near
Right,
Grapeseed.
yes, the lighthouse, one of a kind. You even took us all out there, and then I thought it was like such a postcard worthy moment. The way you can see the waves crashing up against the lighthouse, and you said, no, unfortunately, you can't go in, which would be so cool. But you get a gorgeous view from your house anyway.
Oh yeah, it is a gorgeous view. And the little garage outside, if I do end up getting it, I'm gonna put like like a lattice and vines to make it kind of pretty.
See, everyone's getting such big, beautiful, extravagant houses, and that house is beautiful, and color wise, it does scream Kelly. But I'm like, for the work that I do, maybe I should have like a princess house too.
Well, you work hard, you deserve to have the house you want.
Oh no, I definitely want both of them. That's why I want to see the floor plan. Like, if both of them have the same floor plan options, then I see no issue with me getting the pink and purple one. But if the bigger house opens me up to like more options, I might be going the bigger house. Because I mean, I'll still have water, I'll have a pool, and a tennis court. Like, I won't have to jog all the way down the beach for it, it'd just be right there.
That's true. And also, uh, we're working on having showrooms or, you know, different lookbooks for decor
Hmm. I think that'd be
because we
great.
want everyone to be happy with what they want because we can totally go into the house and renovate it how you want it.
Because I feel like a lot of people, they're probably getting their hopes up with last season's catalog, not aware of like all the work that's going into this season. Like, there's so much versatility from what I hear going into Dynasty 8. They're gonna be shocked.
There is, there is a lot of work because I can tell you that Ray and Casey especially have been working extremely hard. We are training, on how to renovate and give people the house of their dream. And I think a lot of people will be happy with what we can offer.
Yeah, and I saw in the state newsletter that interior decorating, the costs, they're going down. I'm so
Oh yeah.
happy. I'm so happy. Because I'm seriously thinking about an LLC.
I think someone having a decorating business would be a good idea.
Oh yeah, because I have the creamery, but then if I wanted to do the event planning, because I'm like, I do the logistics, I do the flyers, and I've already proven that I can set up a venue. So event planning would cover me doing flyers for people, me doing interior decorating, and planning events. So I'm gonna be like double trouble.
Well, you definitely got an eye for fashion and decoration, so I can see that you'd be very good at both.
Did I say double trouble? I meant a triple threat. Fashion too.
Yep, yep, that's more like it. That's triple. Um, Speaking of fashion, I am so looking forward to us getting more imported fashion into the city.
Oh yes. I know I'm working with Dior, and he wants to definitely prioritize some things for EMS. See, I think I forgot the
He's
government workers.
back.
Oh no, he's like my mail liaison. So he's my ear when
I
it comes to
miss
mail
him.
clothing. Yeah, I think he
I
stops
miss him.
in from like week to week. It varies, but he did do a shift the other week.
I miss his presence. I wish, I hope everything goes well with his mom back home.
Sam. And he seemed really into fashion. I think it was like a very good distraction for him for the time being. Like, we got through my whole binder. There's over 20 pages. We got through it in one night for what we think should be imported. First, we're going to test it out in the field stores, and then we're going to bring it into the local stores after we've sorted and then thrown out anything last season, anything brand name that's costing us import fees.
Gotcha. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because right now, local stores don't quite match up well with field stores. Like, we have different hangers. So I would have to do my work twice, on top of still writing the applications for businesses and charities. and event permits. So I think it's easier if we just narrow it down. I just have to focus on one store, making sure everything lines up there, and then bringing it in for statewide consumer purchase.
I think that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah, after the fashion show. Because first I'm going to get people super involved with shopping. Like fashion crews, fashion challenges. I want to see people in the stores. I want to see people shopping. I want to see new outfits, especially from the people who wear the same outfit like 3 times in 1 week. I want them to at least double the hangers in their closet.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember my first time working here. You offered me $100 to go get me some outfits,
Hmm.
and then you could constantly get on a couple of people because they wore the same suit over and over.
Yeah, I don't want to hear. Well, I have 7 of the same suit in my closet. No, we can branch out from that.
I do know that a lot of the men, like Brooks, some other people saying there's not a lot of option for men in certain things.
They're not wrong. As I've been checking from designer to designer, a lot favor women's clothing. So I do have to do another pass. I want to make sure I have wedding outfits. And I also want to pitch the idea for maybe like a cute little costume shop. Because some people do like to have theme parties, and it would be nice to have like fun little outfits for the day.
Well, that would be cute. That would be cute. And I will tell you that we definitely need some more wedding outfit options in the city because some of the ones I just did not like. So that's why I asked Clark, I was like, well, can I use your dress as my something borrowed? And she agreed.
Yeah, when I was looking for a dress to come to your wedding, I was horrified at our options. Even for the cocktail dresses too, I wasn't seeing something that was super wedding attire. I'm happy I remembered you like stargazer lilies, so my dress matched the freckles of the lily.
Aw. Oh, yeah. I was super excited when I went to the Dynasty 8 warehouse and I saw a bunch of the vases. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the florist and get lilies. And luckily, they had lilies. And I was able to put together a vase.
I saw that. I was just like, Athena got her flowers. It's so beautiful. You see, we need bouquets. Because you could just carry down a nice little single rose. There's so much that can be done.
Yeah, their bouquet options weren't that fantastic. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to carry a single rose.
Yeah, and I even found engagement rings. So, be ready for some new accessories from the jewelers.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But I found beautiful designers. They make such fabulous gowns. The only thing is, you gotta pay a one-time import fee. So I'm trying to find designers, who are a little bit cheaper with their product. Not cheaper
Yeah.
quality, just cheaper import fees.
Yeah, I will tell you, I tried to go to with a designer for my wedding dresses, and let's just say that if you were in a specific body type, they didn't fit you very well, like at all.
Okay, I remember. That's when the beauty comes in all shapes and sizes comment came up.
Yeah, and it's like I think there needs a variety because not every woman's gonna have the same body type.
Yeah, and I've really been. I hope I've been paying very good attention to that, because I want the clothes that I'm looking at to work for men and women of all shapes and sizes. Like anything that's body specific, okay, well, that's a pass.
Yep. And that's what made it so hard, like wedding dress shopping, because it's like if you weren't this size, then it's not gonna work for.
Yeah, so it's men, it's wedding dresses. Um, Still looking for EMS, but if worse comes to worse, it's a one-time import fee. Might see if can do some fundraising to get that. because I think it would be great for the EMS workers. And Dominic loved it. He loved it so much because it came with equipment too. So bags, defibrillators, backboards. Even some had high visibility clothing. So if it was nighttime, as soon as like headlights reflected over the clothing, they would see the glare and realize somebody's in the street, possibly helping someone injured.
Oh, that sounds nice, actually. And I think they deserve all that stuff.
Hmm.
Because I think, like our police department, our EMS, they deserve to be supported a little bit more and have the items that they need, especially outfits.
Yeah, I even found judges' robes, but Dominic and I came to the agreement. They only took the catalog photo from one angle, and without a little bit more information, it didn't seem worth the import fees. Like, we can find something better.
Are you sure you're gonna get Grandpa in one of those judge outfits?
Hello. Are you guys having a private
Hello?
conversation?
Oh
No.
no, how can we help you?
So I had a couple questions about my job. Um, One, when am I allowed to be on duty?
Mm, did you want me to answer that or you?
You can.
Okay, so we hired you definitely as an entry level security guard. You would need training from a more experienced security guard. Luckily, we got a
Okay.
letter from someone who was hired back in February. So maybe if we can get him in here for more daily shifts, if you have a senior security guard, or if you see me or Athena.
Okay. Yeah, I just was curious because it wasn't really clear to me like what all was happening other than uh, for town hall uh, or city hall. The when everybody gets together for the Saturdays.
Yeah, we just didn't want to throw you into the deep end because you were so new.
Yeah, I understand. Um.
Yeah, but like anytime after 7, that's generally when I clock on, so
Okay. Uh, 7 EST or
EST.
okay. Yeah, it's 7 for me, so that's why I was like, oh,
You get West
um,
Coast Limpa. Got it.
yeah, uh, yeah. So whenever you guys want me to be on duty, I'm happy to clock in.
Yeah, and we just hired a new custodian.
Nice.
He was interested in security as well, but he's even newer than you and he hasn't had experience in the States. So hopefully he
Oh,
can learn by working here day to day, seeing how security operates.
okay. Yeah, most of my security experience is at Tequila Law, which is just searching and making sure people pay when they when they do the entry fee. Sometimes they don't do an entry fee.
Yep, I see. Now it'll include incident reports and escorting from the premises.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn more and get to do more. Yeah, the biggest reason I was curious was because one day I was over at the hospital and they were talking about how they needed more security there, and I was like, "Oh wait, that was something you guys brought up in the interview. Was that someday I might have to be assigned to other parts?" And I was like, "I wonder if I can just clock in and work at the hospital when I'm over there." Because I have a couple friends who work in the hospital that I just like going visiting. And it's like, well, if I'm already here just chilling in the waiting room, I might as well be on duty guarding.
Yeah, I would say not yet because you're still so new. But
Yeah,
once
yeah.
you've had like a couple weeks of training day to day, we see performance
Okay,
wise, then yep.
okay. Can you guys just PO me when it's available for me to come clock in and do training, or do I need to just check in each day? And
You can check in, but if you'd like a PO, we can just send you a little quick letter. Hey, we're on
okay,
duty.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Are you guys needing security now, or do you want me to wait for a supervisor?
Well, you got two here.
Okay, cool.
Yep, because
Right.
I'll be here for a little bit, even though I'm supposed to be on my honeymoon.
Oh.
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to clock in today. Honeymoon. She got married less than 24 hours ago. Like,
Right. I'll stand guard at the door. Are we still checking to make sure no weapons?
Yep, every day. No
Okay.
weapons, no contraband. Oh, and we also want to talk about a staff meeting for next week before the tourism initiative launches. So, because we're going to
Okay.
get a flood of new people, and it would be good to have people in this building.
Okay. I look forward to it. Just let me know when the staff meeting is.
Okay.
Also, quick question. Has anyone showed you where our emergency buttons are?
No. I see one of them, but that's
Okay, so this one over here is the DO. There's one right here. That is for City Hall.
okay.
And if you'll follow me, I'll show you the ones in the break.
Okay.
I think they might have taken that out. I'm not 100% sure.